What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Rick Knows Hoops, and this is the What's Next series where I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks today. I think the Mavs had a lot of their fan base disappointing this offseason. I think they were expecting a big move, maybe a Kyle Lowry type addition to the team, and it just didn't materialize that way. But I'm here to lighten the mood for Dallas a little bit because I think their fan base needs to stop trying to jump the gun. And the media, too, jumping the gun because you have a Luka Doncic, which is a generational type talent, and they want to vault him into a contention so early on. And you just got to slow down a little bit. That's all I'm trying to say. But be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. This is a channel where we talk about NBA basketball, so if you love hoops, this is the place for you. And with the Mavericks, they had an interesting offseason. Rick Carlisle decides to pretty much get his way out of Dallas. They decided to part ways. He goes to Indiana. And they bring in Jason Kidd as a head coach. A lot of people weren't really happy with that move because of other reasons surrounding Jason Kidd. And I've heard a lot about Jason Kidd as a coach recently, mainly his time in Milwaukee, how he broke the just mental fortitude of a lot of his players, like Larry Sanders, and even Giannis was having a tough time at a young age. But we'll see how Jason Kidd has matured as a coach because he's been with the Lakers for the last few years. Let's see if maybe his third time is the charm. You know, this is his third head coaching stop. So let's see if maybe he can get the most out of this Mavericks team as currently constructed. And the other big move that they did, they locked up Luka on a 207 max contract over 5 years, 207 million. My bad. There was a lot of speculation whether Luka was like happy in Dallas or what, or if he would even sign it. And the case is like, every star young player, they always sign that super max extension or that max contract extension after their rookie deal. It's just something that always happens. Anthony Davis did it. We just seen Trae Young do it. Jason Tatum. All these guys, they sign that contract extension because it's typical. It's typical, and young players don't force themselves out of situations. Even though we've heard rumblings like Luka and Zion being unhappy in their situations or whatever. But those just seem like rumblings to me until I see something officially said by them. I'm not going to believe it, but let's get to the roster moves that this team made. I think a lot of people were expecting them, like I mentioned, to try and add an all-star caliber guard next to Luka Doncic. And the fact of the matter is it just wasn't there. It wasn't there to be added. Kyle Lowry was pretty much tied to the Miami Heat from the jump. So with him off the table, you just had to make the moves necessary just to improve your team as much as you can. And I think they did a pretty good job of just improving their team. Now, does that make them it doesn't make them a contending team by any means, but you don't have to vault yourselves into contention so early on, man, because you just got to give time for players to grow, see what materializes. You don't know maybe what stars will come available during the season. I think we need to chill on trying to jump the gun because of how good Luka Doncic has been over his first 3 years of playing NBA basketball. We got to chill out a little bit, man. Let the success come because it will come once more talent is added to the team. But with the pieces that they did bring in, I think they did just an okay job of not getting worse as a team, and there's value in retaining your players as well. And let's talk about some of the moves. We already mentioned Luka signing his max contract extension. They also brought back Tim Hardaway on pretty much the same deal that he was already, making over the last few years. I think like $18 million a year was about the range. That's a good move. Tim Hardaway had a very good year last season, so he deserves that money. And he fits well next to Luka Doncic, somebody that can really shoot the ball. I think he's improved a little bit as a defender. He's not a great defender by any means, but he holds his own on the defensive end, and I like seeing that. And when he's really shooting the ball well, he's one of the best heat check guys in the league. Once he gets hot, he's gonna keep shooting the ball, and we've seen how good he can be in the playoffs. He was very good in that series against the Clippers this previous season. And I think that's another thing. People were saying this Mavs team hasn't made it out the first round. Well, the last 2 seasons, they played a team in the Clippers that is designed to win a championship. Those Clipper teams are designed to win championships. This Mavericks team is not really designed to win a championship. They're just trying to get their playoff experience because they're still a pretty young roster when you look at some of their top guys. Luka Doncic is going into his 4th year. KP is going into year 6 or year 7. He's not really that old either. Even when you look at his age, I think he's 25, 26 years old. A lot of these guys are still young players. Tim Hardaway's not extremely old. Even guys like Jalen Brunson off the bench is not old. This is not a vet-led team. It's still a very young team. So we got to stop trying to jump the gun, as I've said 3 times in this video already, and trying to push this team into being a contender because the pieces are just not there right now. We'll see what happens with Porzingis. I think that was something that maybe people expected him to be traded this offseason or something. His value is hard to gauge. It's really hard to gauge his value. He's making a lot of money, and his production isn't consistently good. It's not consistently good. Like I think he averaged 20 points last season, but when they needed him the most, he wasn't there, which is very disappointing. You would expect your highest paid player at the time to be at least your second best player. Maybe I've seen a lot of takes on this, like how the offense is ran. Like it's so heavily dependent on Luka creating everything, which would be nice to have a second playmaker in that lineup too. But I also seen last season in the playoffs, I just think some like coaching errors were made. Like Jalen Brunson wasn't getting a lot of minutes, especially in like game 6 and game 7. He wasn't getting a lot of minutes, which was kind of interesting to me. I think he needs to continue to be a big piece to this team, a nice little building block that they have to this roster. Also, like guys in summer league, like Tyrell Terry looked really good, one of their draft picks from last season. The Mavs also didn't have a draft pick this year, so that was kind of interesting because they traded a lot of their draft capital away to get Porzingis, which is another bad sign. But another move they made, they brought in Reggie Bullock. I think that was a very good move, a nice friendly deal. I think $10 million a year. Reggie had a very good season for the Knicks last year. He was their best shooter. Held his own on the defensive side. Just another great floor spacer to have alongside Luka Doncic. And I really do like that move. And like I said, only $10 million a year over 3 years, $30 million in total. Very good deal right there. They also brought in, I think, Sterling Brown was the move that they made, if I'm correct. Yeah, Sterling Brown was brought in, which is just, a nice defender to have in the rotation. And they also traded for Moses Brown, who was in OKC, got traded to Boston, and now he's in Dallas. So their front court is kind of deep. They have KP, they got Boban, Maxi Kleber. Now you got Moses Brown. I think they still have Willie Cauley-Stein. Like they're a deep team, and Dwight Powell. They have a lot of front court players, so we'll see if any more moves are made, maybe to bring in an extra ball handler, an extra shooter or something like that. Because they got a lot of depth in the front court, which you can't play all of those guys. If we're being realistic, you can't play all of those guys. So I think Dallas, with the pieces that they had, with the cap space that they had, they did what they could to get a little bit better as a team. I don't think they got drastically better, but I don't think that they got worse. That's one. There's value in retaining your guys and just, not getting worse as a team in the offseason, trying to make a big move, swinging for the fences and not getting it. Kyle Lowry would have been great. Kyle Lowry didn't want to go there, obviously. We'll see. Goran Dragic is probably not getting bought out. If he does, we'll see if Dallas decides to take him on, but they said they don't want to trade for him because they don't want to take on his salary. I don't know, man. There's some moves that could be made for this Dallas Mavericks team to get them better, but how much better can you get this season coming up, with teams in the West getting a lot better? Like the Lakers got a lot better, in my opinion. I think the Suns improved from making the NBA Finals. I think they're a better team now. We'll see how the Nuggets, fare this season when Jamal Murray comes back. I think some teams got better. I think Utah got a little bit better. How does Dallas fit into that race? That's to be seen, but I think we need to chill on trying to expect them to make this a championship caliber team in year 3. Because if we're being honest, stars don't win. Young stars, they don't win championships early as the main guy. I think Giannis is like 26. But he's been in the league for like 8 years. And look, that's an extreme case, and even they had to go kind of all in and trade a bunch of draft picks to get a guy like Drew Holiday. And Dallas just doesn't have those means right now because they traded a lot of draft capital to get KP. So give it time. You got Luka locked up for 5 more years. Just give it some time. That's my message to Dallas fans. Give it time. Enjoy Luka. Enjoy him growing as a player because he still has to grow as a player. And hope that, the players around him are able to complement him very well and they are continuing to grow as players as well. And just have fun, man. You got a fun young team. We'll see how Jason Kidd's philosophy and his head coaching is. You got a new guy in the front office. Just have fun. Have fun as a fan. Don't be thinking that you got to win the championship right now. And even if you see other young stars like Trae Young make deep playoff runs, or Tatum or Donovan Mitchell or guys like that, Devin Booker, don't even worry about it, man, because I'm sure Luka's time is going to come, and I'm sure Dallas, I'm sure that front office is going to do everything that they can to get another co-star beside him, a reliable co-star. Let's see how KP plays this season. If he's still on the roster, which I'm pretty sure he will, but let's see how he fares this season, and then we'll judge it past that. But I think Dallas did a good job of getting a little better and not getting worse, and there's value in that. So that's all for the video, man. That's the Dallas Mavericks. What's next? And be sure to tune in next time because I might be talking about your favorite team. But I'm out, y'all. Peace.